Good morning. I am higher vibrations, and so are you. My image, for one reason or another, has a delay, so that's happening. A lot of hey, it's 234. I love that. We're joining a little bit late. I got carried away talking to Elsa beforehand, so thank you all for staying in the audience and waiting for us. So just to before we get started, I wanted to echo out because I know a lot of people are having an increased experience with ascension symptoms right now. There is a lot happening. You're not alone. There's I put a list of the most commonly reported over the past couple of hours or since last night. I think I posted it early this morning. I mean, of the most common ascension symptoms people are having right now. But just letting you know that there is an uptick. We are getting some amazing energy. There's an inbound radiation storm is what they're calling it for the 24th, and we're also having one that happened a couple of days ago and is impacting us now. So there's a lot more cool stuff. You're okay. And joining us today is Elsa. Thank you so much for joining me. Everyone seems to know who Elsa is now. Elsa's my dear friend from down under. She and I join and we just get talking, and sometimes it doesn't make a lot of sense until you rewind it a few times, just so you know. Thank you so much for joining me today, Elsa. How are you today?
I'm very good. Thank you for meeting today, Mila, because it's buzzy, right? Like these. Just before I went to bed, Mila sends an email going, "It's bigger." I'm like, really? Another one? It's like, and then I read the chart in history. She sent me this gentleman. He's lovely, by the way. I've forgotten his name already.
Stephen Burns.
Oh wow, he's great. Anyway, she sent me this his show, and it showed me over time, and it really has been getting bigger. This
Yeah.
chart, I'll see if I can send it to you, Mila, to show. But it's getting really big. Like it hasn't been this big for years. So no wonder our bodies are feeling it.
Yeah.
What was it called? Total solar irritants. Oh, I was like, what is that? And then I looked at the chart and I was like, it's like flat line, flat line, flat line, flat line, and it just starts going. And it started in with what we want to talk about today, Odin energy. 2020, 22, 20. It's just, this is the build of this graph. I'll send it to you in Telegram, Mila.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Thank you. I was looking. I was
Um,
like, which one should I look at?
yeah, it's just a screenshot of that
Okay.
gentleman again. He is great. He really is clear how he describes it when he's speaking, but he's in shock as well.
Yeah, this is it here. Can you see it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Yeah, this guy, he's really good at this stuff. He's really good at um all sharing. Did I do it right? Are you still there?
I'm here.
Were you able
I
to see
don't know
that
if
image just now?
I can't see it. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay. Let me try it again.
Where am I
I
looking?
had it. I had it. I thought. Okay, let me do it again. I'm just learning to use this. They gave me it's a weird tutorial. Okay, so it should be sharing now. Do you see that? No.
No, I can't see
Weird.
it. It's
Okay.
okay.
Well,
We can put it up in the. A lot of this information though is coming like right to the last second, and that was the other thing I talked about with Mila just before is even like, so Mila, I'll bring up the cacao because this is beautiful. So Mila did, she can explain, she did something with cacao on the full moon, and then she sent me a picture of the cacao cutter, but she didn't know why she was sending it to me before she went to bed last night, and I was about to go to bed as well. Anyway, I get the picture, and in the cut up is an M, a big M, and then a smaller M. I'm like, it's the two M's. It's Mila and Maddie, her daughter. It's cacao, which is origins meaning is 1 star mark. And I'm like, really? Spirit is playful with us. It's perfect timing. It's dovetailing. It happens at the right second as long as you get out the way.
Yeah.
So because Mila said she was umming and ahhing because she didn't know why she was sending me a picture of cacao before she went to bed. Because it was a few days ago, right?
Yeah. We had done a cacao ceremony for the full moon. I had a guest here who was also in the awakening journey who was just visiting for a few days, and it was perfect timing for us to do that. And when I had cut it up, it was satisfying to look at. It's like it felt like sacred geometry. And so I wanted to get a picture of it, though before we continued our ceremony. And then a few days later, I'm about to go to bed. I'd already been corresponding with Elsa a bit, and I felt real compelled to send her that image that I had taken a few days before. And it turned out to be the perfect time, and this example of get out your own way kind of thing. We've been doing this for so long where we just logic it away. But then it bugs you. You're just like, I should do that, or I should have done that. It's like, just do it. What changed in my life, nothing was really altered in my life by doing it, except now I can go to sleep, because it's not going to be bugging me.
Yeah. Well, and I guess this is the phase we're in right now, and I feel that we've been getting like trained or something about Odin's energy. Okay, they get it now. They've heard. So Spirit's doing the same thing that Mila did with the cacao. Can you see so Spirit goes, look, they're not listening. I'll send this anyway. We'll see where we go. And you go, oh, I picked up on it. And they're like, you can see them. They're like, you could imagine them. They're really bored like this. And then they go, did they just pick up on the message? So that would excite them. See how it's cute, right? So they're like, I've been sending this for 1,000 years.
Just push, and still not responding.
And then they go, are they? And then they must be like, oh, well, I'm, who am I to think I'm them? But they would be looking down, going, did they just say our name? Are they talking about us? Are they tapping in? And so now the buzz starts. So
I just posted someone that says the buzzing when you said the buzz starts.
Well, to me, and this is the other thing I said, this is not egoic, but to me, this is when the solar flares start. So is it me? Is it the words? Is it the tell? What is the dovetailing with that and that? Why didn't they have solar flares before? I said, Odin with Mila. So I'm the creator. So in my world, it is creating this. It's not creating pain, but it is creating an intelligence in the collective who is ready to collect it. And not, like you said, not everyone's gonna be going, who are they talking about? They go, yeah, they're talking about a grandpa.
That's where that quote started, was the grandpa. It's crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, this is dovetailing with too many things in Mila's life and my life for us to ignore.
Yeah.
We're talking about her starburn mark on her leg. She's an oracle carrying a code on her leg to a map here in Australia. This map, the land's there, the change in the land since we've been doing this is huge.
Yeah.
Historically huge. They've had to change the mapping, 3D mapping. They've changed the roads in this time frame, in this little area.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same area I met that old farmer E.T. And
Right.
yeah, and he said that he kept seeing his neighbours get abducted, so he would counsel them. He's 80. since he was 8. So they've been there all the time, but now they're going. They're listening. They're
Yeah.
listening. They're listening. They're listening. So, okay, give them some more. And they're so cute because they've been doing it each year at the same time. That's the other thing, is it's right now.
Right.
It's like
It's
Odin
somehow.
is. Well, it's like Odin does not want to interfere with the mother energy in the beginning of the year. Odin goes, no, no, no. Don't get involved there. But he has a specific, he always comes through. 25th of June, bang. Well, 19th of June probably builds up. 9th, 12th of June can sometimes build up, depends on each year.
Yeah.
And then 25th, bang. Mother's out. Odin's in. And then I was saying to Mila, I feel like then it shifts into the dragon, Odin's dragon, and we were double checking sort of dates, and it's around 30th, 31st.
Yeah. This is, and we're feeling it. Like it's, when you said just now the 25th, when you started to mention the date again, I just posted that this is Mary's birthday. Mary Thomas, my Earth Day is the 25th, Mayan day out of time, feeling the coming. And that was when you had said the date. I think that's really fast. So happy birthday, Mary. That's really cool. There's so many freaking dovetails, man. It gets to be where it's just such a redundancy that it's like you said, it's they're wanting us to notice, are you it's what I keep seeing when you go to the mall. There's always a map, and then somewhere where you're at that says you are here, and there's a big red arrow, and we're like in a map, like completely populated by these arrows. There's so many arrows, and they're like, do you get it now? Do you get it now? And this birthmark on my leg, it's a not a birthmark, because that was when I merged with higher self when I was 11. I dove into the ocean to save my drowning sister. Neither of us knew how to swim, and a large mass of loving ball of light moved into me, and I died. How I'd interpret it at 11. I left some of me that was really low frequency. Actually, it was very depressed kind of energy down there, and we were catapulted out of the water. Like, I didn't even know that I had saved my sister. I thought it was seaweed that they had that got wrapped around my hand, and I was propelled out of the water, and then within minutes of kind of collecting myself again, realizing, whoa, my leg is glowing and there's a mark on there. It looks like a birthmark, but I didn't have it until that moment. It's right above my knee. You see your leg. I even went through and looked at baby photos. I went through this whole period of like, I thought that I kind of had a little bit of a nervous breakdown at 11 years old. And I wondered, I believed that my parents had implanted memories. And I knew I was somebody else. I wasn't the person that they raised. I became more merging with my higher self. And I bring this story up because I knew it was important. I knew this because it's a weird shape. I knew that was important. And it was one of those things that, like Elsa had mentioned, you don't want to be egoic. You don't want to be like, it's all about me, and be the one in the middle of the story. And then that's just one point, one aspect of this whole story. My great grandfather, my 53rd, I think, great grandfather is Odin, apparently, and like when I found that, I took a screenshot and I just happened to send it to Elsa. And that was around the same time that both of those pieces of information came in. It was around the same month or so. And it's just ever since that time, like seeing blue, knowing that we couldn't see blue before. And Elsa colors everything in a filter of blue. She's this blue person. Like, there's always blue and black in her, images and stuff. And it's just, and could we explore this more? Because some people haven't heard this about blue. Do you want to share anything about it? And then I'll add anything I feel after.
So to baptize, I have to say So I always say birthmark, but Mila's right. It's not a birthmark. It's a starburn.
Right.
Starburn is the right leg. This is what drew me to it. So Mila says she's left or part of herself down there. It was no longer serving her. To be baptized is to die
Yeah.
and dip in the water. Who better to dip her in with is, okay, well, we'll take her right down where the whales are. We'll coat her up with all the whale energy, send her back up, and then we'll wait a few years, and then she'll meet the other one that, hangs out with the whales, and I'm sure they'll get together somehow. Where Mila Starburn Map is a great meeting of whales. I meet the whales there. Not one encounter either, big ones. They're the big blue, right?
Yeah.
They're in the big blue, and they're the big blues.
Yeah.
I see them. I see them, and our family sees them, and we understand what they're saying, and we're playing with them. They're no different than the craft we see, or, the spirit we speak of, or ghosts, or goblins. They're all the same. They're all just waiting for us to talk with them, and they're excited when they're here, like we are.
Yeah.
But you have to just keep stepping out the way of yourself, because you go, I can't tell people this, they're going to think it's egoic,
Right.
But like you said, the dovetailing is so in our faces, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I wasn't going to talk about any of this Odin stuff. I was like, everyone's going through a lot. There's a lot of solar flares coming. Not this big one, hadn't come through yet. Everyone's going through a lot. It's a full moon. I can feel our family's energy. I can feel other people's energy around the world. It's a lot going on. I can't talk about Odin. We're at home selling, the puppies, and the lady turns up, and I asked the little baby's name, and his name is Odin. He's not even a year old. I was like, so he's the new Odin. He's the new ones. And I went, I have to talk. I have to share. We're here to share. We're here to tell. So I text Pamela, I go, I just met baby Odin. This is why we're here today. Because I hesitated too. I was getting in the way of myself, and I'm holding it back. Because, I don't want to come across, who does she think she is?
Right.
But it's not about the messenger. It's just about the message and sharing the message and lifting consciousness, because you never know who this message or words might assist.
Yeah. Exactly.
And this is why they would draw in blue. So you imagine seeing blue in Egypt. So you can see blue, Mila, but no one else can. It feels a bit like what's been going on for our life, right? No one else can see the blue, and then someone walks past it and goes, wow, I really like that picture. You go, you can see it? I've been
Right.
drawing these for how long? You can see the blue? Oh, wow, so it's not just me. So this is what blue is. Blue is actually the greatest trick there is. Blue is, there's blue ore, but to be blue, like the peacock or blue eyes, is a trick. It's a light reflection. It's what it is your soul loves the light and the blue so much that it mimics it.
Right.
This is what the blue is.
That's true.
And you said it's the Black Sea, the Red Sea. They weren't black or red, they were blue. It just because they couldn't see it.
Right.
It's in our maps, it's telling us all the time. What was going on is telling us. The blue ones are coming, this is the Hopi prophecy. And now we're here.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with it?
Right. There's historic evidence that people couldn't see blue for a long time. And so we know there's rods and cones in our eyeballs that help us to see. The cones are a spectrum of color, of light, color. And before, people obviously must have had two cones because they couldn't see the blue spectrum of light. And Therefore, there weren't words for blue. And also it's not represented. You could see a lot of different, if you go back a little, not very far, you'll see a lot of things that are like, they'll show a slate of color and blue won't be included, like the Red Sea, the Black Sea. Black was most commonly used as the word to describe what blue was, because they couldn't see it. And still, when there's color blindness, when someone has color blindness in this day and age, typically, if it's just a little bit of color blindness and not that profound, typically it's blues that individual is not able to see. And they could see all their spectrum of color. What's more is this was to show us that blue was the invisible ink for the secret code society, right, of the spiritual world. For a long time, those things that were blue, the individuals, Odin was known to be the first blue-eyed person, and they were astonished, him and his people. It wasn't just Odin, there were individuals, like a group, who appeared and became of help right around the time of the deluge, actually, the great flood. Odin appears to assist, to rebuild cities, to help people. And he had blue eyes, and only some people could see the eyes of blue. And there's a lot of cool reference about individuals believing that he'd turned off the blue so they couldn't see it. Like it was like only special people were given the privilege of seeing the blue, and it's just that they were not able to see the blue. So his eyes looked white to the individuals who couldn't see blue. And there's just more and more of this code about blue moving in now to the ultraviolet frequency. A fourth cone, cones and rods in the eyes, right? The fourth cone allows you to see a higher spectrum of light, which is this violet, ultraviolet range. And I always thought that meant that the colors would be a lot more vibrant. And I say that they probably are. But what I've found is, because I'm finding this happening, is that on a dark, dark night, away from any kind of street lights, new moon, dark moon, still being able to see at night in places that you wouldn't normally be able to see. That has been the change. I'm just bringing this up because some people are having the eye thing too right now. And a lot of people, when we're experiencing this upgrade of things in the same body, this has never been done before, right? It's always been you perish and then return as a new, like this little Odin guy, and but that little boy is really activated. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of man he becomes, and so this is historically, it's proven. You can actually look it up on YouTube and you'll find all kinds of videos about it. It's really fascinating. And that blue leads us to remind us how to see. So I'm just going to say this part, and then I'll go back to Elsa, is that I've been getting a lot of downloads of guiding people to look at the world like you did. Remember those? They're called Magic Eye, the Magic Eye posters. And what it was is there was a bunch of colors, and it looked kind of like pixelated, and you were meant to look at it and then let your focus wander off. If you looked at the pieces, it wouldn't. But if you let your eyes unfocus just enough, all of a sudden this amazing 3D image would pop in front of your face. And there's this whole thing about it. So anyway, what they've been telling me is to teach others to look at the world this way. That's why most people aren't seeing the things that they're trying to see, because I know a lot of people desperately are feeling that gift that they have inside of them is activated now, that is can't see it exactly. It's because we're focusing too hard. Unfocus, and you will see it.
So you got to see the in between. And this is what the indigenous would do with the stars. They were like, yeah, that's great, you see the stars. Look at the dark. So the Aboriginals were I think they're the only culture, the ones in Australia, that would talk to they would speak of the dark as well. So they would see all the dark matter between the stars. And this created their story of their tell that they would share with their young around the campfire. And this is where we get emu from. Yeah, so I can't make this stuff up.
And aren't most Aboriginal individuals typically like aren't the majority blue-eyed too?
Well, this is the other thing. The interesting thing with I think it's called MC1 code is it's a dormant code, and it's actually from. I always thought it was like you had to be in Ireland, Scotland to have the whole blue-eyed thing, but they all came from Mesopotamia and they came from Spain. And what happened is they came over and their eyes changed from diet.
Ah,
Diet. Are we getting... See,
wow.
this doesn't... There's no rules for me with this. This all goes... It goes into one big, huge cake mix. And it's astrology, it's the Celts, it's everything. So they change their diet. So you'll be hearing a lot of people go back to your Mediterranean, try a Mediterranean diet for a little bit, see how it assists you through this process, which is a lot of salty, oily foods. And I always hear you talk about salt, and I always talk about oil, and lots of water. Go back to your Mediterranean because all the Welsh in the UK, and they're Mediterranean skinned. And I can prove this because Richard, when I first met him, he had really white crepe paper skin. He would just fry when he'd go in the sun, in the harsh sunlight here. Anyway, he started using olive oil as moisturiser and eating it more and having more a Mediterranean diet like me. Now he goes out, he's got olive skin.
Wow.
But he's that fair, blue-eyed.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Right.
But it was there in him. He just had to go back to that.
Right.
Yeah, so now his skin is protected in the sun and he doesn't burn, and just from him returning back to the foods that suit and serve him better.
Right. I've been doing the same thing. I've been getting a lot of Lebanese food is kind of what I've
Yeah,
been eating.
or
It's,
Turkish,
you know,
yeah, same food.
right. It's like flatbread, no yeast. So, and then like fresh veggies, mostly just, and some fruit, but mostly just raw, uncooked. Or if it's cooked, it's very lightly heated, over, with oil. It's
Yeah.
really interesting. And it's
You know what
something I've
also,
recently been drawn to do. What was that?
it also has less dishes.
Yeah.
It's a, it's a scam to get out of dishwashing.
It worked.
Well, I have to bring the day-to-day into this because, all this stuff, like, this is me trying to push Odin energy away. Don't talk about it. Everyone in the family's overhearing it. And then, I haven't talked about it all day. I've been really good. I haven't been sprayed by the kids once. And
Yes.
this lady, I said to her, so what's your little boy's name? And he was so shy, Mila. He's so fair and shy. He would not look at me. And I said, what's your name? And he wouldn't look at me. He wouldn't look. And when she said his name, he turned and looked at me, and his eye contact. And she said his name. And I just couldn't say a word. And I could see the whole family go, oh, here we go. Because the kids are like, oh no, this is going to be a whole thing, right? I didn't say one word. I couldn't stop laughing though. Yeah, it's funny, but it's here for a reason, and it's not just Mila. The lady that I met with Mila is born in the land of Odin, Anne.
Right. Yeah.
She's so they wanted me to meet the one that was born. So the message of that was they wanted the one that carries the code, Mila, the mark on her leg, and the land. So they wanted me to connect the code and the maps of you two. Yeah, that was the first. So that's the first intro.
That was the first time we met. For those who
Yeah,
don't know that, Elsa and I joined I felt like it was a random open mic, and Elsa
yeah,
and this other individual, Anne, and I were all in the same open mic.
yeah, yeah. And so that was on July 2022, same time. Then the next year, then what happened the next year? Then we had Odin's tree, same day. We also had my horse pass. So they're saying, you're ready now. You're ready now. You're ready for the seahorses, the whales. You're ready for the energy now to come through. And then now this year, baby Odin, so which is a new. Which is, you listen to astrology, it's all about now it's a new. It's now it's time to create whatever makes you smile and feel good, as long as it's for the highest good. You have to check in, is this for the highest good of everyone, not just me? And just do it like Mila's doing. Just send it, just say it, just do it, just go there, just eat it. Whatever it is, just do it then and there, because you just don't know what the outcome is.
Right. But other things do. You can tell. The guidance is so strong, and it's been such a beautiful journey it turns out it's been like almost 11 months for this whole like venture that I've been on in this particular part. And what I've really picked up along the way for this is to just go with the flow, how to go with the flow, I guess is a better way of saying it, letting go of the control and just be like, okay, this is what I'm doing now. Like you can tell if you can tell that it's not, it's coming in for your highest joy and highest good. You can tell it's encouraged by the loving parent feeling energy, um, and okay, and this is what I'm doing now. And when we do that, it's weird. We don't know why we're doing it most of the time. It's just like, okay. And it turned out to be something really important. It is something that's, I didn't feel like going to the store right then. I didn't want to. I really didn't feel like it. But the guidance was so super strong. And then I went there and I really actually was thinking about having someone deliver my groceries. I didn't want to go to the store at all. I was going to just be okay with not. And when we went there, we met three awesome ladies who are like the spiritual community of this area, and they're like, we have meditations every weekend, and like, but they were all real like downtrodden, like long in the mouth. And Maddie and I going up and just being in line where they were at, they changed. They looked like different people when we left. They looked, and we felt awesome too. It wasn't like a give, give, give. It was this upliftment of everyone there, and it's a silly example, but I really like a child not wanting to clean their room where I was like, I don't want to. I just don't want to go, but I was guided to. And, if that didn't happen, I still would have gotten what I needed. I might not even have noticed it. I don't know. But I'm just pointing it out because this is one example of many. Like the thing with the chocolate. I sent the cacao to Elsa to remind us that it's okay and in fact helpful for us to eat chocolate. And considering all things that are good for us become not so good for us in excess. So keeping that in mind, about any of the things we talk about that will help us. If you're in meditation all day long, like the whole day, every day, I can't see that going well for you. Trying to exist in this, you got to eat, got to go to the bathroom at least, right? And so there's things that, any of these things are all code for us too. And the fact that you met baby, a baby came to your house to look at the spotted ones, and the spotted ones is a thing too. That's a whole nother code. We could jump down that rabbit hole at the same time if you want. Speaking of rabbits and spotted ones, the rabbits are spotted here. Like they have marking. They don't have like, there's not like a white rabbit and a black rabbit. They're like white with black spots, like a cow. Cacao. That the word sounds the same, like a cow, cacao. Sorry.
Well, this it's just funny how like you push it away, and even with everything we've been doing and us coming out and everything that's gone on the last 30 years, I'm still going, all right, just keep it quiet for a bit. And it came to us. It's a job to get to our house. Like, it's not just drive down the road. It's a journey to come to us. So it's like the peacock turning up at our house. And that's coincidence. How can you have this many goals? You can't. If you're ignoring all this, you've lost all your smiles, really. Where are they going? You're missing out on the show. This is not just happening for Mila and I. And us speaking of this, you'll see things. It's not the same things. You'll see different things, your version of things that you need to bring forth for your children, for your neighbours. And yeah, you're going to get called crazy. That's all right. It makes you smile.
Yeah.
So it is.
Kind of a compliment to not be counted as normal, in my opinion.
Yeah. Even this is fun. Now the crazy, I'd rather be the crazy one than what normal is, because normal is, it's fragmenting so quickly, really. Yeah. It really is. And it's just boring, and I can't even call it grey anymore. It's beyond that. It's just so tired. It's the end game. It's over. It's over. It was over a long time ago, but now it's like. So if I hear someone say something normal, I don't even have a facial expression. Even that's gone now. I'm just like, just like, I can't even go really or debate it or anything. I'm just like, yeah, right. Really, okay. Bring back, where's that baby? Where's that crow?
Sorry, go ahead.
So last night, out digging, and I wanted to dig outside until all the light had gone. There's something, I love doing this. I was gifted by the kookaburras because they did their call, and they have the family that calls in the east first, then the family that calls in the south. So like you'll have 2 or 3 kookaburras really loud close to me, then right down on the other hill I'll hear them. Then I have the west, and then they go back to east, so they keep, these 3 families are like singing goodnight to each other. So I love being out there with them. I feel like I'm part of them. And sometimes I try and make a kookaburra noise, but yeah. Anyway, I'm digging and I'm digging.
Are you going to do it now?
Huh? No, I'm not going to. No. The internet will shut down. I'm not good at it because it's an unusual sound. Anyway, then in between this, hawk comes flying in, and hawk doesn't live here. Hawk's always a visitor, and I could hear it was the female hawk. She flew right in the tree above me. I was like, okay. And she starts squawking at me, and I went, oh, I have to tell Mila we have to do the Odin promo. And that's why so it's hawk. Because you get, Mila's, I call it your nickname. I don't know if it is or not, but it's Little Hawk.
That's right.
Yeah, so Mila can't get to me through email or telegram or anything, so she sends a hawk.
And it's fun because I really was on this side, like the Elsa energy. I was calling in the Elsa energy, and like you were busy or whatever, and it's really fun. That really, and yeah, hawk has always been important and part of a symbol of who I am. It's really cool.
Wait, so you don't, it's so funny because you go, oh, I'm going to send an email, and you go, no, I'm going to send a hawk.
She'll
Well,
respond
I mean,
quicker.
but yeah, this is, again, I didn't question Hawk. I go instantly, Mila, I have to do something for Mila. What is it? What is it? And the Hawk called 3 times. And I went, oh, that's what it, and then I came in, did something, and then went back out again. And I didn't pay too much attention to it, but it was a great moment. And so people say, "Oh, that's a miracle," or this is a gift. It's a gift from the Hawk. It's a gift knowing Mila. It's a gift understanding the information. And the more I go, that's a gift, that's a gift, what am I doing? I'm appreciating. What happens when you appreciate? You receive more.
Yeah, that's right.
So even if everything we're talking about is one big scam, it makes everyone feel good. So whether it works on this level for you or this level for you, or if it's just purely now entertainment because everything feels like it's gone crazy for you or normal, it makes you feel better
Yeah,
because it's not the same old story.
right. And you're creating. We know we're manifesting the world we're in. What you choose to focus on becomes the reality. That's how social media, or not, mass media has worked for so long. That's how it's worked. People watch the evening news, and that's what you're supposed to do, right? Like all of the stuff is propagandized for that. And then the result that they're talking about in the news, the nightly news, starts to happen. And everyone thinks, oh, then the newscasters knew what was going to happen. Well, they were hoping they knew because they were hoping we all would participate in this mass manifestation, which is what we've been doing for so long. Now we are choosing something else. And you know what? It's really freaking happening. That's what's the most awesome, mind-blowing part about it is that, I get to see it real time. We're really here. And I think, yeah, 100%. Us participating in this way, focusing on this and choosing this is what's allowing us to actually be in this world, and this is the weirdest part. We talk about the egoic part of it. This is the weirdest part that kind of, for me, is realizing that a lot of these ancient texts of histories, instead of it being history, they were talking about a time that we're in now. Those aren't things that actually happen. If they did, they're repeating. But I've been getting lately that it didn't actually, a lot of those things that didn't actually occur. They're telling us of this time. And that's why it feels so coded. It feels so, it's been told and told and told. Just like, a lot of people complain right now about the new versions of cartoons that are still going, that they watched when they were kids, but they've been changed, altered to appeal to the newer audience, and so it's off-putting and eventually, yeah, the message of that story does get convoluted and lost a little bit unless you can look and see past it, so that's what's happened for a lot of these stories. However, they're telling of this time. A lot of the Bible stories are telling of a time that we're in now too, not just Bible, but a lot of things like this. So it's real, and it's not about, I would say that I'm just surprised that I'm in part of this. I get to be a part of this conversation at all. I don't see myself as high up in any way. When you come to like, whoa, but I feel like I'm just me. And I'm surprised that that I have a place at the table every time it happens. I'm happily surprised. I'm like, are you sure you want me? Like, okay, Bob would be much better. And Carl's right there. You know what I mean? Like okay. And I just go with it, instead of deciding, no, I can't be in the story, just be in the story that you're in. And you find out that you're in that story. It's really cool.
This egoic, right? So because everyone creates this ego and mind is a bad thing, but it's a tool. It's in us there, right?
Yeah.
This what you just said, a lot of the spiritual people and channelers, Baja and all this, the egoic is you saying you're not. Because we're all creators here, so you think you're special, that you're not a creator. So see, it's actually it's even this opposite spin of that. And so by you saying, "Oh, it can't be that," that's ego. That's actually you saying, "I'm greater than creation because I'm separate to it." But you can't be separate to creation because we're all in on it.
Right.
Gaia's in on it, the air, the kookaburra, everyone's in on it. So to actually turn it off that's the egoic side. But they've just spun it, because they've spun it all around on us. We go the other way, and So now we're just continually reaching. You said the news, and all I heard was a new you. So by broadcasting or spelling the news, like you said, the news reader is telling you the new yous.
Right. Yeah.
They're going, this is what the new yous will be, because they want a lot of them. So how do we do it? We put it on the news.
Right.
And so if it's on the news, it's because everyone agrees. Well, no, it's not that. The news is put together by a group to spread out to everyone doesn't agree on the news.
Right.
But in our training of what the news is, you look to them as authority, you look to them as a confirmation of what's going on in the world. I mean, that's really what it should be, but it's not. They're telling you what they want the new yous to be.
Right.
And by being your own creator, whether Mila says something or I say something or your neighbour says something, you be the creator of what you feel, of what has just happened for you, because you're dynamic, and creation needs your dynamicness. It doesn't need another told news.
Right.
It's
You're right.
So funny. The whole thing's
broadcasting. I actually never put those that. I mean, I picked up channel, and all those. But yeah, it's a spell that's being cast broadly. Like it's like when you do this with seeds, you're trying to get it to touch all of the earth. You're broadcasting the seeds. It's same thing. Wow, it's really.
Well, the other word that is very big, and you might be able to help me with this one, is ewes. Ewes is female sheep. It's EWE. But we also had, I think it was last year, Comet E3. This is brought up by you. You said, by the way, there's a green comet. You called him the devil or something. It was a green devil coming through. And I was like, really, devil? But it was E3, which was the bookend, so it's 3 like this. So it's a very Celtic sort of ruins. Yeah. If you join them together, it's 8. So it's a gate. The U's are the memory of this star dust. So you have U's, so you have the memory glands in between, and the U's are the female sheep. So there's something about these comets coming through, you're remembering the U's, which is the starseed. When I say use, I'm meaning starseed. But they're broadcasting news to use the sheep. They're calling us sheep, but so we always take it the wrong way and say that we're sheep, but it's not. It's the ewes. It's the ewes. Yeah. Sheep are very humble. I'm hanging out with sheep next door, and they're beautiful. The this stupid sheep thing, I don't see it. They all know when to have babies. They all have babies at the same time. This takes great organisation.
Right.
Coming from all the births we've had just recently and all of us, they all have them in a few hours of each other for safety. So you'll go to bed and there's no babies.
Oh my goodness. That's a
And
lot.
then usually Gemma was in the TV and she'd come in, she goes, oh my gosh, the whole paddock is filled with kids because they sound like kids. It sounds like a primary school just turned up in a busload. Next. And because it's so close to our home, we hear them and yeah, they're very clever. Nature's very clever. Nature doesn't need us to work it out. Nature's saying, can you just butt out and get on with you being a creator and I'll be my creator and we'll do it together.
Yeah. And this is the harmony place. It doesn't matter what you got going on in your life. If you're allowing yourself to create it with intentionally creating, we can uplift the whatever you're feeling and it be in the place of play and joy. So to create is to not create is cutting yourself off from the sunlight of the spirit is really what it comes down to.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so the other thing that happened with Mila is because you spoke about this light, how light's changing for your eyes, and Maddie's brought this. Maddie's so cute. So I'll be in these groups that Pamela has, which is again so kind that Mila just chooses to have a group. She takes time out and she brings all these people together and they just share information, not recorded. And Maddie will just whiz by sometimes.
Yeah.
And say hi to us, and she comes in and says something about, oh yeah, we're getting new icons. And I was like, what? Hang on, and she just goes off and plays. I'm like, hang on, what? And so this new icon thing, and I agree with it's like ultraviolet, or we might not even know what to call it yet because it's coming.
Yeah.
It's definitely a higher read upgrade. The last 3 years of this Odin energy, so we were seeing flashes that would go horizontal.
Like lightning flashes?
Yeah, but it would go across all the land in one big sheet. And so I thought I was going crazy, but then a couple of other people in the family said it, and I noticed the pets noticed too, and I was like, okay, I'm not crazy. Other people saw it. But now it goes longer.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I'm also seeing it happen from the moon and the sun now. It does it through them, and I'm going, oh, well, maybe it's just you can see it more now. Or because I understand it, it's like understanding blue, understanding Odin, I see it more.
Right.
The power of observation. It's like saying you can, the yellow car, and then all of a sudden you realise how many people have yellow cars. It's the same thing. We're talking about Horus again, which is hawk, which is Odin's crows. So you have the rise and the set. This is all Egyptian as well, and all the other cultures. And so it looks like Saturn. It's a circle, and then it has another orbit through it. This is actually how they describe the black hole. I sent you a picture of it. So I'm having the moon come up on the horizon, the full moon, while she's doing this cacao thing. I'm having the moon come up, and I've taken pictures of it, and I took so many pictures of it because I couldn't believe it. It looks like a sun. Now, where Mila is, the sun is setting.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But it was pretty much the same time, this full moon. So we were both in dark. This is part of the Odin energy, because it's both in dark, but the two suns are there. Are you getting this?
Wow.
I saw this. I actually watched the video of it last night, and again, it's doing this weird solar flare thing. The moon doesn't look like the moon.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I've seen that too.
And so then I checked the times of the moon and the peak of it, and we were both in darkness.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Very.
it was like the sun. Like someone else said that. Yeah, it was like so weird. It was pretty.
Yeah. And it has a lot of, it's not real, the moon's not real. Look, I don't have the data on all that, but I know what I felt, and I know what I saw, and I know the messages that came through. So whether it's dark or not, or whether it's light or not, it doesn't matter. It's the message again.
Yeah.
The message of the two suns, and it keeps, Odin is the ones. It's the suns, it's the ones, this is us. Take your light that you're gifted with for being here. Whatever you can do, just go create something.
Yeah.
This is how you will break the matrix down. People say, how can, the world's this, the world's that, how can I do anything? I'm disabled, or I can't get out of bed, or I can't do this. Well, I've been taken out for 3 months where I couldn't walk, and I did stuff. And I did stuff through creation in my mind.
Yeah.
So wherever your body is at this point, go from there.
Yeah.
Don't hold on to all that. Just go from all the stuff you know from now, go from there. Like the sun comes up.
Right. And rather than living in limitation, what can we do? Like, my back was broken. I wasn't supposed to be able to walk again. My back got broken when I was 14. That's how I was removed from my abusive home. That's how it worked. That's why it worked out. Where I had somebody I could tell the stuff was going on, because we were kept from society. I bring this up to say we can heal anything. And how does it start? It starts by dancing while laying down. In that example, that's how it started. It was, you know what? No one's going to take my dancing away. I'm still going to dance even if I'm laying down. And then it was chair dancing. And then it's, you know what I mean? Like we can, and I've gone to people's homes and laid on the floor with them, and dance on the floor. It's fun. It's so much more fun too when you bring somebody along with you, and like allow yourself to expand there rather than looking at the limitation. When we say I can instead of I can't, it changes the frequency and it makes more possible. It really does. It really does. It's strange. Yeah. I mean, the added benefit was I was a bit of a rebellious person. I wasn't supposed to take off this back brace ever. This thing that was like supporting my spinal region. And I took it off because I don't know. I interpreted that as me being rebellious. I would have had such atrophy that I don't know if I would have been able to recover if I had followed what I was meant to do. The point I'm making here, though, is that, hey, it's 333. We can come back from anything. When we look at what we can do rather than what we can't, you find that you can do so much more. That's not the goal, to find out you can do more. It's just to do. Because if we don't allow ourselves to do, that's when we get lost in the lower frequencies. That's when it's that dismal place to create. Maddie was one of those babies that just wanted to be on my chest all the time, whether she was asleep, just laying there or whatever. And so I learned to crochet, and I crocheted all kinds of stuff because I needed to create. I couldn't just be mom. That wasn't while she was sleeping. I would be behind her back. She'd just be asleep on my chest and I would just be crocheting. Before I figured that out, I started to spiral really low very quickly if we don't allow ourselves to create in some way. Because we are, you're made in the image of God. That's what that means. We're creators, just as was you already said before as well.
It's so hard. Mila talks, I'm going, word. So, image of God. And so the God is within us. No God is above us. This saying, no God above us, is that you have to come back to this gut feeling. If you're thinking too much and letting this God run you, it's out of whack. And this is where we've been. This is where they've trained us from here. And I like this God up here. This God up here is funny, annoying, but funny. But this God down here, if we work together in harmony now, it works better because it seems to ping better up and down my spine. It's interesting that your back was broken and mine was broken, because this is a big message that we've been given through your siren math and the Bermuda Triangle. You might have to go back and listen to another show with Mila on this one, because this is a huge one. But all the waters of Mila land showed me how the Bermuda Triangle is off a bit and the angles of it. And it showed me that it's a lot to do with the rifts. And the rifts are ridges or spinal cords. And if you have a look at a lot of pictures that are being flashed up, when you look at the tops of mountains, the Great Wall of China, they look like spines. A lot of them are spines. This is spine, spinal cord. It's spinal code. It's spinal cord. It's the goes up and down. So in times of broken rifts, of broken spines, and great pain, this was us coming into the power of each, Mila and Elsa. Mila spoke of she rose above her pain and overcome what they were telling her, as I did too. And this pain moment, see now, because we tapped into it, we've made it our power.
Right.
They're programming on all these TV shows that you watch. Pain is horrible. Birth is horrible. Everything is horrible. Anything to do with pain, quick, take medication. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. Joe Dispenza talks about having pain and going into fever, and it pulls him into meditation.
Right.
And he used to like getting sick because he knew he would have a fever. He'd have his deepest meditations when he would have a fever. It's not just me saying it. This is, Mila gets pushed off the boat, can't swim, by the way. Her sister and her couldn't swim. Gets pushed off. Well, let's baptize her. Push her down there, bring her up, put a stamp on her, and then put her back on the boat. Get rid of all the stuff she doesn't need now, and then let her, okay, we'll give her a few years now. I'll let her think about that.
Right. Actually, I dove in. I didn't know how to swim. None of the adults could hear that my older sister, who also couldn't swim, had fallen in. And
so you dove in.
So
I wasn't sure if you're pushed.
No, yeah, I was just compelled. And I didn't even think about, you can't swim. I just thought, she's going down. I got to go, And so I dove in head first. I can swim now. As an adult, I still haven't ever jumped into the water. I'm like one of those, I'll walk down the stairs or I'll slide into the water. I don't jump. That was the only time I ever did it. And I didn't even think about it before I did it. That's fun to look back on and observe self. It's like, dude, I had no fear. I was just like, someone's got to save her. I hadn't even thought about the fact I couldn't swim.
So again, stepped out of the way. Jumped in. took off the back brace. I don't care what you guys think. It's not that you disrespect people or anything like this. You just go, it just doesn't feel right for me. Everything you're telling me just doesn't feel right for me, so I'm just going to follow my lead, and it feels better that way. And that's what I'm asking now with the audience. Go create this time, this window. This is a gateway. Go create, because this is what will shut that down and make them all come. For us, for all of us. It's going to lift us all. I did a little bit of research. And I remember, as Richard, I listened to Instagram, TikTok, all the social medias, and then I went on to a few YouTubes, and I listened to it all, and I was like, wow, this could be really, if you're listening to all this stuff and you haven't unpacked it all, or it would be very confusing.
Yeah.
And I think about what our children are going through, you know. I was like, what a mess. Then I went to the shops. I was like looking around going, it's messy.
Yeah, it is.
It's a mess. We knew this mess was coming.
We did. They called it Shocked into Awakening. Spirit called it Shocked into Awakening. There's going to be some events that and the visual they gave me was like a pot of ice water with clumps of ice. You can hear it tinkling, tinkling, tinkling in the pot above the person who just keeps pushing snooze and won't wake up kind of person. They're like, okay, here comes the pot, you know, and it's not meant to cause harm. It's just, it's time to wake up. And so as these things have been happening, I mean, we've had a lot of different things on the world stage, the theater of the world, that is not all the way real, to show you it's not real. You know, Maddie, by the way, today woke up to tell me that she had a dream that the robots were lining themselves up, and everyone thought that they were trying to take over the world, when what they were doing was they were giving the world back. I thought that was really interesting. I don't know. When she told it to me, I was like, I need to remember that dream. Because, you know, she's a seer in her own right. And so I don't know. What do you think that means?
As soon as you said robots, I know, here we go. It's the ones that are the parasites. Robots is ones that are parasites. So it's just you have an imbalance of them in you. That's not all the ETs. That's just 700,000 of them.
Right.
That's just those ones. And they actually are known by everyone else, by the way. Everyone else knows them. They have nicknames for them through different cultures and everything. They call them slimy ones, snake, because they try and describe how they look. And when you look at different parasites, they look like a lot of films I've seen over the years.
Right.
Yeah, so, and, you know, even their agendas and things are about numbers and about eating, and numbers, eating. And what's interesting with this way with Odin and meeting everyone online and how we've been living is it doesn't matter about the conscious numbers for us.
Right.
I don't care. I just don't. It doesn't matter about the number. It's never mattered about the numbers. It matters about how it feels. Does it feel pretty? Does it look pretty? Does it sound pretty? And the numbers will come. That's what they keep saying. The hive will come, which is the drag ions.
Right.
They'll come. You don't worry about the numbers. But if you're a robot, if you're one of the 700,000 inside, you need the numbers. You don't like change. You don't like blue. You don't like sun. You don't like herbs. What do you like? You like manufactured. You like weak.
Mm. Right.
You got to see what's been going on in the world. Why would, if you were here ruling the planet, why would you be doing all these things to make you weak? It's not. They're protected because they're in us.
Yeah.
Why have all our, the last decade, you look back at pictures of what humanity looked like to now, it's very different.
Yeah.
Why? Why are they
Right.
turning off our imagination? Because they know that's the void for them. They can't, because they don't like, it takes them a while to build up their colonies, and some sit in us dormant until we're 40 or 50, especially the ones that go into the brain.
Right.
Or 30, yeah. Because that's their journey, their cycle. And so they don't like how humans can change. That's why they don't want you to, they want you to stay in one place. That's why they have visas and passports, and they want us to pigeonhole. You stay here, you get trapped here, you get trapped here. They don't want nomads, because you change and you learn. That's why they built freeways, so you wouldn't pass the villages and speak to all the villagers and collect information. They keep you on the freeway, seeing the same tree, the same plants as you pass by, so you don't have too much creativity going on.
Right.
And you're on the freeway. I love getting off the freeway. I mean, the freeways serve a purpose, but I love getting off the freeways because I love passing all the little local shops, and you see all the quirkiness of each town and the characteristics, and you learn things. You get to see different shapes of land. When you drive on a freeway, especially here in Australia, I don't know if they've done this everywhere around the world, but when you drive on the freeways here, you can't see the view. You can't see the mountains. They block them. So you can't,
Oh, yeah.
with the way they design it and the trees.
And they call it a sound barrier, but it's actually
Yeah.
like blocking the whole
So you
world.
can't, yeah. So all you're seeing, it's like this movie, kids movie Cars. And then you have these
Yeah.
ghost towns. They turn into ghost towns.
Right.
Yeah, so
Disconnect.
why have they done it? Because they want you to they're worried about the imagination. As soon as you have the imagination, you're going to start triggering your codes to collect.
Right.
So then the other beings come in and go, they just saw the baby. They saw
Yeah.
send in the hawk. Send in the hawk.
She's open right now. Go, 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 go.
Go. Okay, we need 3 white cars down there immediately.
Cue the Matrix simulation where everybody looks. Yeah. Right.
Okay, all right, we want the black cat, and we want it to pass this meeting. And you go.
And
So
it
cute.
was funny too. Maddie pointed it out to me. She talked about, Timo actually brought up the lockdown earlier too. He said, "I thought lockdown was the awakening." That was a phase of awakening. There were still people who weren't awakened yet, and so to answer that question, but she was talking about proximity. She was like, and I don't. Well, she wasn't talking about it with she was young enough when that was happening, and we really didn't participate in like the whole lockdown rules and the 6 feet apart and all that baloney. We didn't participate. We were in an awesome place where that was an option. Anyway, she was saying that when we stand at least 6 feet or beyond 6 feet, so from getting a little bit closer than 6 feet to each other, that's when your heart centers start to merge and creating these Vesica Pisces examples back here. So it's like that. They're like, okay, keep them right here so they don't actually touch. So their heart centers don't merge, and separation and distance. And I would say it's likely some people who don't go out a lot have maintained this way, that are still doing the 6 foot distancing thing, and aren't getting activated. And it's like, eventually, what it looks like to me is when we don't merge heart centers like this, um, then slowly that person just gets more of a grayscale energy to them. It's just not as bright and vibrant, and we fill each other up, even if we don't talk to each other, just passing, you know, it's crazy. And also the frequency of our voice. It like tickles through their energy. It looks like tickling. It's like it wakes up their energy. It's really cool. This is creation too. We're creating our world. And I know I kind of got off track there a little bit, but we really are the creators of the world that we're in, and we get to choose, and the more that I mean, Elsa and I both have very much density kind of stories we could talk about, things that were hard in life that made, you know, any psychologist or psychiatrist would probably think that we'd be highly medicated and deeply depressed, suicidal, so on and so forth for the remainder of our days, right? And instead, we get to laugh. We get to be in a place of joy. We get to dance, and because we've chosen to see the blue, and now the ultraviolet or whatever it is, and you're
Well,
getting coded too. Go ahead.
yeah. Well, the
I mean,
it's great if you don't want to do it, but like I said, I keep going on about this baby because it's amazing. But I mean, I could talk about a whale experience. I could talk about Mila's starburn and the map. I mean, what was the calling when I saw her knee to put it on a map? And then I see it on the map and I go, so this map
yes.
has changed history. Since the acknowledgement of it, it's changed this location. I can't make this up. In this 2 years of this location, this map, and what it showed me, it has found some of the oldest dinosaur bones in the world.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
It's ignited ancient Aboriginal sites that they thought were lost. They always spoke of them, and they found them at this spot, right? This spot was on the 25th. Triggered my son to come home too. Like,
Right.
I
We've been gone a
can't.
while.
3 years, yeah. But this was the start of it. Odin coming in. See, a lot of this spirit stuff, humans love. They go, well, why isn't it happening now? It's like,
Yeah.
well, that's cute, but it needs time to manifest. Sometimes it needs to sit in our cells, in our ions, in our atoms. A tree doesn't grow straight away, or herbs don't grow straight away. They've got to have a seed, then they've got to have the nice soil, and then they've got to have a bit of water, and they've got to sit in the sun, and they absorb it, and it grows into it. And this is what Odin's energy has done. I didn't even know what Odin was. And, I'm talking about Odin with Mila in 23, and then Anne comes on one of our shows and goes, oh, by the way, you know that I was born where Odin... So she takes us back to when you... And you go, really? Wow.
That's
So
our
she's
original
born.
meeting. She was there. Elsa's in my original meeting, and then she's in our group, and she's like, "Oh, by the way."
So
What?
this cute little, by the way, holds great validation for it. Yeah, because she speaks up and tells, so she confirms the land code message of that year. Then the next year it goes to this, and this year. So then I thought, are they saying it takes 3 years for me to understand Odin? And I'm like, Wow, it's amazing, right? Like the whole. So now baby Odin's come along and it's the Anu and it's ready and it's saying, okay, you've had your practice, you had your training wheels on. Okay, now create.
Yeah.
From here, from
Right.
understanding Odin.
And the place of the whales. This is the swimming library. This is the record keeper. The whale. I've been going to the place that Elsa's talking about. I didn't know where I was going. I'll go there remote viewing, and you'll see these whales, and they swim like they're spinning. They swim
It's
like a
called it's called Which Way.
right.
That's what this place on the map is called
Right.
Which Way. Because you don't know where you're going. You
'Cause it
don't know.
spins.
The witch doesn't know where she's going.
Right.
This is the trick word, which is which. You don't know which way you're going, but you allow. Because if you're on center compass point, fifth element, Shiva, blue Shiva, that Shiva's blue, by the way.
Right.
The blue Shiva tree is blue.
And then the blue Shiva that go together too. Shiver,
Yeah,
Shiva.
yeah. So if you're on point, it doesn't matter because you could go anyway.
Yeah.
Because you're on point. You're there.
Whirlpool.
It can feel lonely there, I have to say. Can feel a bit alone there. But in the years to come, that will feel that alone feeling will feel different because everyone will be on more. There'll be more consciousness at compass point. So this feeling of nostalgic, that alone feeling will have more ones with it.
Right.
So maybe this nostalgic is that, because I have that sometimes too.
Yeah. Especially lately, it seems like I think it's part of saying goodbye to what frequency we've been keeping. Somehow there's like a goodbye there. You're just like, oh, goodbye, depressed self. I'll never see you again. Even though there's like, yay, it's also, I knew that. That was what I knew my whole life, right? Like you're saying goodbye to a dilapidated house that doesn't serve you, but that still was your home, and so there's this melancholy coming through also that a lot of people are. By the way, I just got to point this out. My hair's turning curly. It's really weird.
Yeah,
Like,
we gotta.
I mean,
Yeah, we should check this. Is this?
yeah.
Mila
Anyone
said
else?
on one side and the back. I said, I
Yeah.
wonder if
Like
that's
my
where the
hair's
solar
straight,
flares are coming through.
but like it's like I was trying to figure out how to do my hair. Like,
Because it's
like
straight on
I
one
always had a
side
little
and
bit of,
curly.
yeah, especially in the back. It's all ringlets, and it's really weird. But I don't treat my hair. I don't dye my hair. I do shampoo, conditioner, and a brush. That's all I do. Sometimes I'll put a barrette in there, but that's it. Like a little clip to like hold the hair up, and that's all. Like I don't, and so it's not. Yeah,
So
this is
what
just
side is that the curly on? Because I always
this is
with
my left side, my divine feminine side.
yes, so
Oh
in
yeah, because
your
it mirrors.
hemisphere, yes,
It
I'm wondering
flips.
if it's on your hemisphere. So this is because we're really curious on the hemispheres and their hair. If on that hemisphere, because of all the solar flares, it's making hair go curly.
Right. Perhaps. It's really weird. It looks even more curly when it's wet. Like it like ringlets. It's just crazy. It's like I mean, like I've always had a little bit of a curl, but dude.
But it's weird that's on one side. That's why it's
Yeah,
side and the back.
it's
So
real unbalanced.
yeah. So again, sharing this out, this might turn into a thing. So you, you'll be able to tell the ones who their antennas are half curly on one side.
Right.
They're getting the code. Look, she's got the code. She's got the hair on that side.
It would be easy to spot him on the road, right?
And you like, you know how, I don't know if this happens in America, but sometimes if you drive the same brand of car, when you're driving on the road, these people wave at you.
Right, right.
It's, and our family are like, do you know them? We're like, no, no. And then you go, oh, they got the same car.
Right.
I think you're friends. Anyway, so now you'll see someone with half curly hair. You'll be like,
Hey, you too, Wong Hong.
it's like high five as you walk past on the way to the
Right.
shops. It's
It's so
cute.
bizarre. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's like, I don't know. I'm going with it, but I mean, what I can't really not, I guess. But
Actually, I think I was in a session and someone talked about their hair on one side.
really,
Wow, yeah. Now I'm starting to think a few people have talked. I am gonna. This is a thing. This is a Mila thing. She's brought it up. It's a thing.
it's a thing. If any of you are having this experience, please comment. I'll go back and look to see the comments throughout the week because I'm really curious if anyone else is having it happen.
Yeah.
Dr. Joe in the house. Got to say hello to him. Hello, Dr. Joe.
Well, yeah. Well, he hasn't. His hair's shorter, right? So.
And just, yeah, is your hair curly, Dr. Joe? Oh my God. Hey, Cosmic Detective has it.
Yeah,
Cool.
all the hair. I'm gonna, because we got long hair in the family, so I'm gonna check all the hair
It's
of
harder with
everyone.
the longer your hair is because of the weight, the gravity will pull it down. So you can tell, especially when you're getting out of the bath, when it's wet, out of the shower. That's when you can really tell. Like it was weird when I was getting out of the shower today. I was just like, wow, that is so crazy. So,
Actually, Gidget, the meter one, she has been going on about that her hair is just ringlet, because her hair is always straight, and now these ringlets. It's a thing. I'm going to check the horses now because they got the long hair. Because not
right.
a lot of animals have long hair. I think camels might have hair. Donkeys. I want to go. Some dogs would have it. You should, or long-haired cats.
Right. Right. Oh,
Yeah.
you're
So
something I'm going to pay attention to for sure. Like,
this is a thing.
it's a lot. Like I was trying to brush it straight. That's why it looks like this. It was a lot. There's like some tight curls.
Yeah.
So
This is Gidget too. She can't. I've told her not to brush it because you'll break it. You'll break your hair. So
it's crazy.
wow,
It's cool.
it is cool.
We got a really interesting comment that's totally off the topic. Do you want to break down a word for someone? Do you see the comment I posted here on the front? Can you break down the word Canascus? She's doing it. This is Elsa in her breakdown face.
This might have that word there might have a few mixed. This is a few. Do you have eras? They show me eras in blocks of 100 years. Whether they are or they haven't been, I'm not sure, but they come in a block. So sometimes words carry over many cultures and different blocks. Magi ones. See, it's got in it. It's got what do you call it when the words go back and then this way?
Palindrome.
Yeah, it's got a palindrome in it, which I think's weird because that's always a so it's a spin on itself.
Anna.
Yeah. So no. So it's magi. So this it could be like the magic cube. I keep the magic cube. They used to do the magic cube. I have to come back to this one. This might have to. I might have to. Sometimes I have to sit in the sun.
When you get a chance, I would be interested too. Maybe if you felt like posting it in the comments to this video.
Oh no,
later.
I know what it is. I know what it is. It's Magi. Oh, Magi one. Oh, it's to do with love. Love is
Oh,
the true love is blue code. Um, it's this the ones once the ones see themselves in themselves. So once the ones see themselves in the ones, so the matrix, once they like this, it is a palindrome. It is a palindrome. Once the one see you become the love becomes the magic. So
right.
magic becomes love or love becomes magic. It doesn't matter because it's like the magic cube. You can spin them all different ways and something magical will come from the cubes. And the magic cubes can have, they've been going over many realms too. People used to put them above their door and they would hold Celtic code and you would only see them as 2D. But a true magic cube spins all four, like how the monks and you spin those things on the, they would be,
Yeah.
I don't know all the words, what they call them, where you would go along and spin all these things and they would,
Like
they'd be
in
like,
the Golden Child movie with Eddie Murphy.
yeah. Oh, this is a great movie. I have to watch that again.
Me
He is,
too.
look, I know Hollywood's got all that stuff, but he's funny.
He's
He's
doing
so
a rap
funny.
song with it.
Yeah. Oh, I love this word. This word is a good word. A lot of times I'll make them into products to hide
Make them
them.
into what?
You get products. So
Right.
the Invincible, the Warriors, they've named products after them. So you have, I think it's Toyota, Mazda, Izitsu. They were the ones. They called them the Immortals.
Right.
It was just a
Right.
great trick.
And this is, I looked it up while you were talking. They've named a place in Canada this. So it's a location name.
Yeah, it probably holds. It's probably got a red. We call them pyramids. Reds. It's probably got a pyramid underneath the land or above the land or mound, or it's got a tell somewhere. This place will have this. You can't have that word and not have something great there. There'll be
Yeah.
a landmark. It could be a first settlement. This place might need a spin on it. So if whoever lives there, just knowing this energy will respin it as well, because you're like a tell, you're like a obsolete, you're like a pillar. You are a pillar. You're a likelihood. You're the. Look how much orange juice she just had to drink. I know I'm on. I know she just downed the whole thing while I'm saying this. So this must be pretty big.
Yeah.
Can you see what I'm saying? Because you just drank the whole thing.
I did.
It was like, you needed the. Yeah, this place might need a spin on it, but just
Yeah.
even us all acknowledging it right now is a respin on it. So it's actually a place. It's not a.
Yeah. It's a place, a location. It does feel like that too. It feels like someone unplugged it. They just need to plug it back in. Like it's an active place. Someone just removed the power source. You just got to plug it back in, start it back up.
I think that's what's happening. It's like Mila's background. So we're all people, right? And now we're all plugging our spines back in. We're all going, hey, that sucks. Thanks for making me miserable for all those years. And now we're going to plug it back in and be the creators that we are and do your thing where you are on your place where you are now. I promise the great will come. The great will come. It can't
So
not.
easy.
It can't not. look what's happened in the time I've met Mila to now. Look at the journey Mila's been on and myself.
Right. Wow.
Been through floods, lost our son, he comes back, you shift location, then you shift location again, you let it all
Tornadoes and
go.
homelessness, and we were basically
Yeah,
homeless. I mean, we had places to lay our head, but we were basically homeless for all of that time. We were guests in someone else's home, which means you're homeless, right?
I
I
don't
mean, it
know.
wasn't like we weren't like what you would think of as a homeless person, someone who's in a homeless situation. We had everything we needed,
Yeah.
but yeah,
And they
pulling
take
up
it
your wrist.
right to the last point. Like you can't get any more. And there's a reason for this. Because if it's too far ahead, one, you'll get in the way of it, and the others can remote view it. That's what it is.
Yeah,
So if they remote view to, if it's too far ahead and they can remote view it, then they can go and tell a newsreader, you better go tell those yous something. 'Cause
right,
they're gonna go off down this road. So then they step in and the puppeteers.
right.
But
So
if
they just
you're,
kind of keep everything suspended.
yeah, in the show. But if
Yeah,
you're now realizing that you are a pillar and you're part of the riffs, the brays, the whales, the vertebrae, you realize your pillar and the importance of you. You've just cut all your strings off
right,
to that,
right.
and
Yeah,
so now you don't need that. You just wait for the hawk or the rock who just rolls in front of you, and you go, "That's odd," you know,
right,
or you'll see a reflection in the water. You'll get more from that than the news
mm,
because it's your news coming for you, specifically for you, designed. Do you know how hard it is to get all that to play out for that second right then and there?
right.
I mean, that's why I think it's so magical with the kookaburras, because we're all
Yeah,
out there together. That's a lot of synchronizing.
right.
Like to have the white peacock turn up at the farm, and there's a lot more to that message in that, but the timing on the solstice, are you kidding me? A white peacock on the solstice?
Right. 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 Of all times and all like likelihood.
Yeah. And then the white peacock dies. A peacock comes in the cloud where we first met it, and the white peacock brings the 4 blue ones. I
Right.
mean, like, yeah. And then this syncs up with astrology. It syncs up with Bob's drawings. It syncs up with things Dr. Joe says. And I think, is it just the world of Elsa? Oh no, it's not. This is
It's
happening for
everywhere.
everyone around. Yeah.
Yeah. It's it's so redundant that it's meant to be ridiculous, so I'll notice it. That's how I feel it. Like it's meant to be just over the top, overkill, right? Like over the top. And that's intentional, so we'll pay attention. What is it when you're paying attention? What does that mean? It means a lot of things for different people too, but it's code. You're playing something again, and I just noticed I observe my own words that I kind of try to retract the word by observing the underlying meaning of it sometimes because like the word diet. Elsa is the one that pointed that one out to me because diet's a common thing I report. By the way, there's a big shift in appetite right now. That's what I'm starting to say. And like I mentioned earlier, Kara said it too, that, all of a sudden, like one potato chip, it made her sick, throwing up all night because our bodies aren't used to it. We're not, We're no longer in resonance with it. Even if it's foods that we've been eating, all of a sudden your body shifts and you're no longer able to consume that thing. Your body pushes it out so quickly that, you got to spend some time close to a bathroom for a while, you know?
Well, if you've just got rid of a colony inside you,
Right.
they don't need that food anymore. So then you don't need it. And then you go and eat the food that you're so used to eating. And then you go, oh. Yeah.
Right.
So it just
Right.
shifts. And whether you need to do a cleanse to get rid of the colony or these solar flares, they don't like it because they wouldn't like it.
Right.
They're very sensitive. And this is what's the most interesting thing for me about this whole thing is how sensitive they are. They're really fragile.
Yeah.
They can only live in a certain temperature. They have to have this life cycle. We're not like that.
Yeah.
We can change. And it can just be from having a sleep. You can change. Or a mind space. And because this is the creators we are.
Right.
And they are not us. They're just in us and affecting us and affecting our environment. And this whole lockdown thing was a great way to get rid of a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Not humans I'm talking about. I'm talking about ancient alien DNA. Most of them, Morgellons, all these ones, they don't know how they got here.
Right.
They can tell you everyone else here, but not those ones.
Right.
You really? You have to be a scientist, yeah. So, yeah. Just keep going. It's they really are doing it to us in a lot of things now. I just see it in the food. I can see it in the food.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just got to keep on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll just keep balancing it out, and everything will come to a balance. There's no good guy or bad guy. We needed to have them to get our bodies to where they are now. I mean, I don't like everything I hear, but it is what it is. And do I hold anyone accountable? Yeah, me.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to beat myself up about what I did because I only did what I knew then.
Right. Exactly. It's the idea that a butterfly is ashamed of once being a caterpillar.
Yeah.
It needed to be a caterpillar until it was done being a caterpillar.
Yeah. Yeah. And, so, look, I've done things that I wish that I could take back, but that's only because I'm looking at it from now.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, okay, what can I do if I'm having regrets and things? Okay, well, go back and heal that moment. Sit with it. Be outside with it. Feel that moment. Maybe you're attached to that regret moment because there's something for you to collect back there, like that, that lady or gentleman that just said that name, Canus. Maybe you're meant to feel that, to go back to that land where whatever the regret place happened. Maybe it's not what your brain thinks. It's a regret. Maybe it's just to make you acknowledge that land or someone there or something, or there's a memory there that you need to collect for now.
Yeah.
And this is what I say to people. If you're having that reoccurring dream, or you keep feeling angry and you always remember that letterbox. And so I kept having this reoccurring dream of my old bus stop at high school. And I kept going, why in my dreams I keep getting taken back there? And I realised that I needed to do some water healing there. As soon as I do the water healing, I'm going, okay, well, I'll just have a go. I'll just do some water healing there and see if that never had the dream again.
Right. Right. These things come up just to point at something. They're not meant for any other purpose. It's just why does your body hurt when there's something going on with the organ? or that area of your body is to draw your attention to it. It's not to put you through a torturous experience, and the more we don't listen to something, the louder it gets, you
Yeah.
know, and every area of our body is associated with an emotion body as well, and you said something else that, so I wanted to be remember to say something about this, is an observation I made yesterday. I was just like, wait a minute. Most of the most common ascension symptoms people are having right now are also the symptoms that you would expect a person to be having if they were going through a mass parasite detox cleanse. Interesting, not a coincidence. You know what I mean?
Okay, so when you go through a mass cleanse, right? And you might not, like I said, you might not have to be doing anything. These solar flares will be kicking them out too. By the way, our veins are blue. So
What'd you
this
say?
whole blue blood thing, our veins are blue.
Oh,
You
yes.
know, when I look at my veins, they're blue. So when you're having a mass parasite cleanse, these are your friends. They're in you. They've been there for you. They don't want to leave. And so you can feel sad. You can feel empty. You can feel lost. You can feel alone, because they have feelings. This is why they get off on symbols and things, because they can feel it through your senses.
Right.
It's all about this is, and it's so funny that our whole monetary system is sense and numbers. I just honestly go, really? Are you? It just keeps going on and on. Mythology and incest and all this sort of stuff. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
All the stuff that's going to be coming out in the news is about this, right?
Yeah.
So, like when they go, it does it can create headaches when they're leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're just
And an
going.
emotional experience in the bathroom. I'm just going to say it, even though it's uncouth. There's an emotional experience that happens when you're saying goodbye to these parasites, usually as you're pooping them out, right?
Yeah.
And it's a thing that I don't know if anyone ever says, but you feel like even moments of like panic or rage flood through you as they're leaving, because it does feel like a death for them. It's not. It's cool how it looks. I can't really replicate what it looks like as it cycles back into the oneness of all things, but it does. It feels like they're facing the end of their life and they don't want to die. Almost. It's really weird. And just to
Well,
reassure, though, that's not what's happening. It's just what it feels like for them, right?
well, well, I don't know. Okay, so the whole Mars TARS thing. It's Mars TARS. It's TARS, right? Tar. It's crustacean. So I'm not sure if Mars has other worlds underneath it, and the outer shell of Mars is just the crustacean of it,
Right.
because it's all layers like an onion. I don't know if this topic's too big to start now, but
I'm going to have to pee soon, so I'm not going to go that much longer.
oh, okay. Oh,
Just
okay, so you have appetizers, entrees, main course, dessert.
layers. I get you. I hear you.
Well, desert is their sweet spot, where they've taken all the trees out, and
Right.
yeah, so it's in our language all the time, and once you understand it, it's not so heavy, and you don't wear it as a burden. You just go, it is what it is. This has been going on for a while. They know it. We know it. And as soon as you all know it, it becomes an understanding. You understand the game. You become bored. You feel alone. You get rid of them, and then you become the creator.
Yeah.
And creation's just like, oh, finally, ah, cool. Now we can create together. Because it feels like so what's happening is Gaia, this consciousness of humans has been in hold, and it's like hold, 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 hold,
Right.
hold, 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 and now all of a sudden a lot of awakened at once, and then that energy goes up to the sun, and now we're having all these solar flares because you can't contain it, or Truman show it for this long.
Yeah.
You can trying to hold all this energy in, and it's not going to work because everything's growing and becoming more and becoming more. But you want to contain it. You want to contain it. You want to contain it. So it explodes.
Yeah.
Not the world explodes, and not we explode. It's just the energy, like you said, like how Maddie was saying when you're 6 feet apart. You know that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. And and simultaneously, while the energy is building and we're raising our frequency, what's happening too is that some of the things that we used to be part of team body are now being understood as now they're parasitical energy. They're parasites because team body has evolved into a higher frequency place. And this impact, this big awakening you're talking about, this big, the way I keep being shown it is the people who are waking up right now are trying to get a sip of water off a fire hydrant. You know, like that high pressure
Yeah, it goes
water.
right up your nose.
Yeah.
That's
And your
the worst
eyeball and
feeling.
everything. You're just like,
Yeah,
and
and you can't, never looks pretty. 'Cause
right.
you're-
And
and you
this,
come out of it like,
yeah, they're spinning across the street on their back, you know, like a turtle or something, you know,
yeah.
and just, and
But then you
this,
become like the dog that knows how to go and run in and jump over it, or run in and bite it. Like you
right.
start playing. You
Do a cartwheel.
go,
You know, and so we're also feeling that too, but it just, I just, my empathy is there totally 100% for, because, you know, people like me got to slowly digest pieces of this understanding. You know, over time, I've been able to like slowly, like you too, also, you know, we've been like kind of chewing on this a little bit at a time. You get a bit of information, you kind of disappear for a while and kind of figure it out and then come back. Whereas these, some of the individuals who are waking up right now during the shock awakening period, it's like all of it all at once, you know, and it's a lot. And so I feel for you. I get it. I'm grateful
well,
I'm not that person.
well, what you just said, so you're able to digest it. So these beings knew that this time was coming too. They could remote view it as well, and they knew of the desert coming because that is how they've ended on other worlds as well. Because they get to this point, and then a desert has dune, sand dunes, which are ever-changing sands. So once you get to that spot, they had to change, and they've had this happen. I'm getting more than once in many lands, and they're evolving and increasing and changing themselves, but their process is a lot different to ours, a lot different. Yeah, it's just a different way of all beings. So they have the desert. You said Eddie Murphy, right? So you're talking, and I've had baby Odin, the golden child, because
Oh,
Odin's,
and Maddie's obsessed with Avatar. He looks like the golden child too.
yeah,
Avatar the series.
because everyone said, when's Jesus coming and all this, and, you know, they've talked about it. I mean, did we just have baby? We had the golden child. You know what's
Wow.
funny is this person who turned up will never ever know any of this, and probably, and that's okay. It's just they're the paths crossing. That's all. That
Right.
was all that was meant to be, and it's not all about that child or anything. It's just the messenger, the message,
Yeah.
and it's a golden child. I come back. Wow.
Right.
Yeah. This is a brilliant. I thank you. It's 1-5. Wow. Yep. Gotta pee.
Yeah. I gotta pee so bad. You saw me
You
chugging
saw
this
how much
orange.
orange juice.
Yeah, and that was I probably should have gone before you even came on. Like I'm impressed by my bladder. um, that is a guidance, by the way, for anyone who is noticing these ascension symptoms in a discomfort way. Salt, hydration are two of the main things that I'm being called to be aware of and to, be sure so that I'm letting myself consume those things. Um, Salt, I just put a little bit underneath my tongue before taking a drink of water, or put a little bit in water, and you don't like a whole bunch, but just like a mouthful or something of salt water. Um, this helps to hydrate. I know that what I'm being guided and understand in this is that plasma light or plasma, however we want to word it, moves through more efficiently bodies of water, and so that's why our bodies are kind of containing more water right now. There have been a lot of reports of people going, I don't know why all of a sudden I just got a big old belly on me. I'm not eating more, and so on and so forth. We're containing more water right now, and so just keeping that in mind. Listen to your body. Your body knows. Your body knows. Sometimes my body calls for something that I would declare as borderline poison that you can buy in a processed food section of a store. And for some reason, my body really wants it. And it just turns out that my body wants to purge. And so my body takes in something that it doesn't have harmoniously. So I'm in the bathroom a lot, you know. Um, hey, Carmen's here. Hi, Carmen. Fresh fruit juice. Yes, exactly. Water's a conductor. Elsa, thank you so much for joining me today. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we get going?
No, this is great. Thank you. Thank
Thank you.
you. Yeah. Just thanks. Thanks for everything you do. Thank you for all your symptoms. I'm always recommending them to everyone. People, it's helping so many. It's helping, not only helping them health wise, but it's helping them with finances because they can do it themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just taking ownership, and it's just so it's great to see you're all on the right track. Just keep going,
Right.
keep going.
Y'all have
Yeah,
the power tools that you need for this,
yeah,
right? The higher power tools.
yeah,
I like that.
yeah, and chocolate,
And
cacao.
chocolate. Yeah, dude. I'm
Yeah,
totally into that.
mm, yeah,
Thank you all for being here and for being on this journey with us. Thank you for joining us, Elsa. And I look forward to our next conversation. And any of you who want to like drop any code in the comments, I'll go and check this out throughout the week. I mean to. Usually I will look at your comments, by the way. It's just that my response is usually several paragraphs. And so if I respond to somebody, then I feel bad I haven't responded to everybody. And I can't feasibly respond that way to everybody. So usually I'll just put a love on it. I have listened to you. So and I'm just curious, anyone else that wants to report any of these things or having had similar experiences, I'll definitely be going back and looking at the comments later on.
yeah. We want hair reports.
Yeah, I'm really curious about the curly hair thing. It's so weird. It's cool. It just, huh. All right, this side of my hair straight and this side's not. So thank you. Love you all. Keep in mind, we are still in the energies of this awesome frequency. So, um, ground, drink water, and just be in a place of love and appreciation the most that you can. And I will catch y'all later. I don't think I'm going live tomorrow because we had the show with Elsa. So I'll see y'all on Friday at the Zoom meeting.